Now we'll see how we can create a virtual server in the cloud by making use of EC2. We'll be installing a Linux server. So let's start by clicking on this link, EC2. So this provides you a dashboard where you can see how many instances you are already having and how many key pairs and elastic IPs you have and the region where this instance is running. For instance, my is running in North Virginia. So in order to create a new instance, you can directly go ahead and click on this launch instance button. Here you need to choose this free tier eligible Amazon Linux instance and just select 64-bit, the default selection. Click on select. Next you need to click on configure instance details. Number of instance is going to remain same. IAM role and every other thing is going to be same. Inside the advanced details also you need to leave it as is. Then click add storage. There you just review this. For now our instance will be of 8 gigabytes. Then we need to create a tag of it. We can have a key value pair coming up over here. So just give it a name, specify the key like name and then web server as the value. Click on configure security group. In this you have to make sure that you allow at least SSH and TCP IP. You need to select all those. Let's say SSH and TCP is selected. You need to add one more. So there you go. You have to select HTTP. Other fields will be automatically populated. Then another rule, if you have, let's say HTTPS, in that case you need to select HTTPS. This will be implemented when we'll be installing SSL certificate. So these three we are taking into our security group. Now let's click on review and launch. So this is our instance type that got created and you can just review it over here, the security group that has been created. You can go to previous section and just give it a nice name, security group like web server security group. Similarly over here you can give it a description, Linux EC2 security group, and give it like SSH, HTTP and HTTPS. This way you'll be able to find out how many protocols are supported in this particular group. If you have an existing security group, you can select that and you can go ahead with that as well. So let's click review and launch. Here you can just go through the settings that you have made, tags, key value pair and every other thing. Just review it and click on launch. Here when you'll click on launch, you need to create a key value pair. Now this key pair is very much important because this will be used to communicate with this instance. We will be using tools like PuTTY and WinSCP to upload files on this instance, and PuTTY will be required to run commands on this instance. So both will be requiring this key pair. So just create one over here, create a new pair and give it a name, Linux EC2. You can see the instructions. You have to download the private key file .pem before you can continue. Store it in a secure and accessible location. You will not be able to download the file again after it's created. So just click on download key pair. So this is the file and you need to save it. So now let's launch the instance. You can see that it says your instance is now launching. Click on this button which says view instance. So where you can see that I have got two of my websites running on different instances. This one we have recently created and the instance state as of now is pending. Status checks are being initialized, and when this will be in a running state, you can select certain actions on this particular instance. You just need to make the selection and then go to the actions tab and you can just terminate, reboot, stop. You can just perform these actions basically on the selected instance. When you will select a particular instance, it will also show you some other information like the public DNS, the public IP address, instance state, instance type, instance ID, security checks, monitoring, tags that we have created. So once this is in a running state and the status checks are complete, we will have our instance up and running. So if you want to edit the security groups, Elastic IPs will be coming to Elastic IPs when we'll have our setup properly completed. So as of now, security group, we have already done that. Key pairs that we have just now seen over here. So you can see that I've created this key pair, and we have our security groups. So here I have created a couple of them, and this one is the latest web security group. When you'll select a particular one, for instance, let's select this default group, or let's go for the web server one. So this is the ID basically, and inbound, if you will see, you can see that I have SSH, HTTP and HTTPS in this particular group. Similar cases with this one as well. We have SSH, HTTP, HTTPS. So once our status check is done, the status will be changed to similar to this one, 2x2 checks. So there you go. Status checks are done and this server is up and running. So this was how to launch an instance. Over here we launched a Linux instance with Apache installed, and next we'll be installing PHP and MySQL.